40 second stream. So it's been 42 days since I've started streaming every single day. I haven't taken a single day break. I've been streaming continuously for 42 days now, and I've been solving Leetcode for 42 days now. Big deal. It is a big deal for me. I think I'm the most consistent Leetcode streamer on YouTube right now. I don't think there's anyone who can beat me in this, because I haven't taken a single day off in the past 42 days. Well, so here's a little what do we call it? Here's a little spoiler. Spoiler is that or I don't know if it's a spoiler, but I'm trying my best so that I do not have to stream for a long time. So there's been some talks in the town related to some stuff, and if everything works out, then I won't be streaming anymore for every single day at least. So don't get me wrong, I love streaming. I have developed this new habit of streaming. I have developed this new passion of going on to streams, talking to you guys, and doing all sorts of stuff. Chess, Leetcode, maybe watching something or doing something. So there's like a lot of stuff that I've started doing with the streaming, and I've started enjoying it a lot. So yeah, I will stream even if I get a job, that's for sure. But I hope I get a job quickly so that I do not have to continue this challenge every single day, because it takes a lot of energy to come here and stream every single day. No matter what's happening with your personal life, no matter what's happening with your professional life, all of that I have to put aside all of that and then come to the camera and start streaming as if everything is perfectly fine, which is slightly tough for me. So anyways, that's enough of trash talking for today. Let's jump into the problem. I'm really excited. I have a couple of announcements. The first announcement is that I will do a non-DSA stream this week. Before Monday, I will do a non-DSA stream, and I will do that stream during the daytime. So whenever that happens, I might stream twice. Once I will do non-DSA stream, and then once I'll do regular DSA stream. So this is something that will keep on happening, but a non-DSA stream is also planned. Most probably it's gonna be about blockchain. Let's see, because I have assignment of blockchain, so I thought how about solving that assignment on the live stream itself. So that's the first announcement. Second announcement is, remember about 15 days ago I said that I would be working on I'm working on some really cool project slash startup of mine that is supposed to come out to the world on 15. Come out not in its perfect form, but come out as in MVP or like a pitching video on 15th of September. So that was the initial plan, that I would launch a pitch on YouTube, pitch of my startup on YouTube on 15th of September. But tomorrow is 15th September, and unfortunately we're nowhere even close to that pitch. There are several reasons why. The first reason is that I was connecting with a lot of people in the past 15 days, so I got to connect with a lot of other people from other fields, like designers and people who have done this kind of stuff already, and I got a lot of feedback on the idea and my process that I was following throughout the past couple of weeks, and they suggested some changes. They suggested some things that I need to incorporate in my process. They suggested several methodologies that I need to follow, some user survey or case studies, and a lot of stuff that they suggested. So basically I have to do all of that before I jump onto the pitch. So that's why I'm going to need another month probably to get the pitch ready. And the last reason and the last thing that I want to discuss is that whatever idea I was working on, I'm facing some technical difficulties in it. When I say technical difficulties, I mean I'm facing some issues in terms of available technology, in terms of the technology that I know, so there are some issues in it. I'm not able to create that kind of thing. So that's one another reason why I won't be giving a pitch tomorrow. But that's gonna happen for sure, because I'm working on it and I'm spending a lot of time. Every single day I spend around 2 to 3 hours working on that. So that thing is definitely going to happen. It's just not happening tomorrow. It might take another month, and I'm really sorry for that. So now let's go back to the problem solving and let's start solving some problems, and hopefully today we can solve 2 problems at least. Although I have to go get dinner at 9, or maybe we can push it to 9:30 in the worst case. But yeah, let's try to solve some problems. Okay, so let's start with the first problem of the day. The first problem is pseudo palindromic path in a binary tree. Okay, so given a binary tree where node values are digits from 1 to 9, okay, a path in the binary tree is said to be a pseudo palindromic if at least one permutation of the node values in the path is a palindrome. If at least one permutation of the nodes in the path is a palindrome. Okay, so the first thing that's coming to my mind right now is that, so when we talk about palindromes, we say 1 to 1, or we just say 2. That's a palindrome of length 1, that's a palindrome of length 3. So ideally, if it's a even length palindrome, then it's gonna be 2 1 1 2, right? So that's an even length palindrome. So if it's an even length palindrome, then each character has to appear even number of times, right? And if it's an odd length palindrome, then each character has to appear even number of times and one character can appear odd number of times. So that's how we define palindromes, right? So in this case, it is asking me number of pseudo palindromic paths going from root node to the leaf node. So I have to start from the root node, so this is 2, and I have to go till the leaf node. Okay, so that would be simply a simple BFS kind of thing, right? Or DFS kind of thing. So I will start at the root node, right? And I will start at the root node and I will go to every path, and at every step, so for example, when I'm here, my path is 2 3 1, I will check what is the length, and then I will check if it can form a palindrome or not. Now this is O of n. Okay, let's see what is the range. The number of nodes could be in 10 to the power 5. So this is O of n, which is fine. The last thing that I need is I should have a hash map. Hash map or that contains the counter of this. Otherwise that could also be calculated in O of n time, and I suppose this code would work. So let's just try to write the code for this. Okay, let's say our answer is initially 0. We're gonna return answer, and we're gonna have a function count p, or maybe just let's say count. This is on the first node. This function is going to take a path, so this is gonna have a path. I'm going to say if node is none, in that case I need to return. But anyways, if I am at a place, then I will check. So here I will check if path can form a palindrome. If this path can form a palindrome, in that case I need to increase my answer. So I will say non-local answer, so that I can access this non-local variable inside of my function. Right here I will say root, and the path initially is an empty array. Okay, so if path can be a palindrome, then I would increase my answer by 1 and I would continue nonetheless, right? If root is none, then I would return. Otherwise I'm just going to say count node dot left, right, comma path plus node dot left, node dot val, and similarly node dot right, comma path plus node dot val. So all I need to do is I need to check if the path can form a palindrome or not. So let's try a brute force method first, and then we will check the a better solution. Then we will find a better solution. So let's just go with the brute force method. So we have an array. We need to figure out if a permutation of that array can form a palindrome or not. Okay. There are several ways of doing it. First way of doing that would be, let's say I will say length. So Okay, I'll say length is length of path, right? And now I'm going to say, now I'm going to have two cases. Okay, if length is even, right? If length is even, in that case everything should have a even count, right? So I will create a counter of the path, which is nothing but counter of path, right? I'm going to say if counter of, so if length is even, then I'm going to say for key in counter dot keys, if counter of key percentage to not equal to 0, in that case this is not true, right? So flag is false and I break out of the loop, else this keeps on happening forever. Else if it is odd, in that particular case I would need to have one key. I can afford to have one key with the odd number of values. Good morning, Kwaneth. Good morning. How are you? I hope you're good. Let's say flag is true right now, and now here I would say if flag, then I would increase the answer, otherwise I won't. Let's also have this cnt equals to 1, and right here I'm going to say for key in counter dot keys, if counter of key percentage to not equal to 0 and count equal to 0, then flag is false. Break elif counter of key percentage to not equal to 0. In that case count is decreased by 1, else I do not care. So anyways, I hope this should return me correct answer for the given test cases at least. No, it isn't returning the correct answer. The output is 7 but the expectation is 2. Okay, alright. If flag and path, that's one thing. Other thing is, whenever I'm increasing the answer, I want to print the path, and I might also want to print the counter just in case there is something that's not correct with it. So one path is 2, then there is 2 3 3, then there is 2 3 3. Why do we have 2 3 3 twice, by the way? Why do we have this path 2 times? So I'm repeating the same path twice, which is incorrect. Why do we have that, by the way? Maybe let's modify our code and let's say this and this. Let's say if node dot left, then you go here. If node dot right, then you go here. So now we have 2 2 3 3 2 1 1, but there is also one path called 2 3 1, and we do not have that path in our solution. Why is that so? Because flag was false for that, which is okay, but for 2 3 3 it is going to form a palindrome. Yes, it is. 2 will form a palindrome, yes, and 2 1 1 will form a palindrome. So the answer is 3, correct. But this says that there are 3 paths. There is 2 3 3, there is 2 1 1, the path is 2 3 1. Oh, so the path has to go from root to the leaf node. So if it doesn't happen, then that means the problem is even simple now, because now I do not have to worry about the time complexity and all, since they have already said that the path has to go till the leaf node. If the path doesn't go to the leaf node, it's not gonna work. So if this, then this. Otherwise, if the path has reached the leaf node, which is if node dot left is none and node dot right is none, In that case only I will do this. Okay, yep, I suppose this should work. Not sure, but I guess this is going to work. Lastly, if root is none, then I would return 0, and I'm going to try and submit this piece of code or piece of crap, whatever you like to call it. But anyways, I get a memory limit exceeded. Why is this memory exceeded? Maybe because I'm passing the entire path down the way, which is slightly incorrect. Memory limit exceeded. So this is a problem that I faced for the first time in my entire life. I never had this problem of memory limit exceeding. I never thought that I'd ever face this problem. Memory limit exceeded. Funny. Okay. Oh, I cannot copy paste. I can. Cool. Yes, so memory limit is exceeding means I have to fix this piece of crap somehow. So let's stop passing the entire path, because that's definitely going to create some sort of problems for us. Okay, I need a path from root to leaf. Yes, I need a path from root to leaf, but I need it in such a way that memory limit exceed doesn't happen. So let me think about it for a couple of minutes, and then I will if I can figure out a solution, then I'll let you know. So let me think about it for 5-10 minutes. Okay, let's think. It's time to think. So start from 2, then go to 3, then go to 3. Wow, I chose a black color over a black board. That's insanely stupid. So start at 2. I somehow say that 2 is 1. Then I go to left. So I say 3 is 1. Then I go left and I say 3 is 1. And then there is nothing with it. So I would say that this means that 3 is 1. So I check that if it is possible. I check if it is possible, and once I'm done checking, I need to backtrack. So I remove this. Now this is 3 is 1, and now I go to the right side of this. So simply I add 1 is 1. Then once again I check, it's not possible. Anyways, I remove it. Then this. Then I come here and then I remove this. Then this. And then I go here. Maybe that's slightly better. So I found like a slightly better, or maybe a completely better option, but who knows. Let's call it hash map. Okay, let us have a hash map, and let us say that our hash map of node.value is 1. Okay, because we have one element. Now what we do is, okay, now what we are going to do is, essentially we are going to say that we're gonna say that so that is fine. What I want to do is, let's not do it here. Let's say if, so let's start with this from scratch. Let's say now what I want to do is, I want to go to the left, okay, with this hash map, but I am also going to say that hash map of node dot value is 1, or hash map of node dot value is hash map of dot get node dot value comma 0 plus 1. Okay, then I go to the left side. Once I'm done going to the left side, I go to the right side. Once I'm done going right side, I say that hash map of node dot value. So similarly, just like that, I am going to, maybe this time I do not have to check, so I can simply say hash map of node dot value is subtracted by 1. So this time I'm trying to find a better solution. What I'm going to do here is, I'm going to say that if node is none, listen to me, if node is none, then we would just return. Okay, so if there is just one node, then we set this here, then we go to the left and right and it returns without doing anything, and then we subtract 1. But before subtracting, this is where we have to check if it is able to form something. So but wait, so okay, another thing that I feel we can do is, we can take this hash map and we can make it a non-local variable like this. Okay, now when I go to the left side, when I go to the left, and if left was none, then it would return. So I have reached a leaf node, so I have to check if this hash map has everything in the correct order or not. Now one last thing, if hash map of node dot value becomes 0, in that case I would need to delete hash map of node dot value. Okay, but still the problem is not solved. So what I'm trying to picture here is, let's say you have this tree 2. So let's say you start on this, so you so the first thing that we do is, we give 2 to the function. Now the function says that in the hash map I'm going to increase the frequency of 2 by 1, and then I would move to the left of it, so I will call for the 3. Now similarly, when we are on 3, the frequency of 3 will be increased by 1. Then once again it's going to call for the 3. Then once again the frequency has increased to 2. And now we are at a point where we call for the left, we call for the right, but we find that none of them exist. So what do I mean by that is, we check if node dot left is none and node dot right is none, none of that exists, then we check if hash map forms a palindrome, right? Then we check. Okay, then we check if hash map forms a palindrome. If it does, then we increase the answer, and anyway we decrease the final value by 1. So now this 3 is decreased to 1. Now we're back on this one, so it will go to the right side and it will increase this and it will check once again, and this makes a lot of sense to me somehow. So let's see if this actually works. Okay, let's see if this code actually works. So we are going to check if hashmap forms a palindrome or not. Okay, and in order to check that, what I'm going to do is essentially I'm going to say L is length of hashmap dot keys, right? And once again it's the same piece of crap that I might want to improve at some point of time, but not right now definitely. So I'm just going to use the same piece of crap once again. I'm just going to go here and grab this code real quick. Yeah, this is a very ugly code, but I'm assuming that this might work. This might just be enough. This might be enough. Okay, this might be enough. Instead of counter I have to say hash map. Everything else stays the same. Okay, so we have eliminated one error, that's good, but we are getting some other errors now. So let's go ahead and let's write use example test cases. Let's just use one test case here and let's see what's the answer in this case particularly. The answer is 0, but the answer is not supposed to be 0. I get my L as hashmap.keys. Whenever this is the case, whenever I'm at this point, I want to print hashmap. So if I can print my hashmap and if I can see that a hashmap is correct, so yes, hashmap is absolutely correct. Hashmap is correct. So I have 2 keys, I have 3 keys. L is equal to hashmap.keys. This is incorrect. Okay, I just have this thought that it doesn't really matter if the length is even or odd. What really matters is at max I can have one odd. I do not have to check for length. All I need to do is loop over, check if it's not that, and count is 0. Then this is not possible. Otherwise, I decrease the count by 1. Should this always work? Is this going to work always? What do you think? See, I'm not sure if this is going to work always, but I have a feeling that this might just be enough to do, enough for this problem maybe. Yeah, I think this is going to be enough. Yeah, it is enough. Yoo-hoo, we solved the problem. Good job. So that was a really boring problem. Let's see if there was something interesting in, except for my logic. Bit manipulation, DFS, BFS, binary tree. I knew there is nothing interesting except for bit manipulation. Yeah, this is the bit manipulation part. Oh my goodness, that's some insane piece of code here that I will ignore, that I'm going to ignore. Anyways, so we've solved one problem, but this means we have the opportunity to solve one more problem today, and I think we should definitely do that. By the way, how are you guys? Whoever is watching, you might just want to say hi at least. Now we are going to, just give me 1 second, okay? I will very quickly I will check something and then I'm back, okay? Just give me 1 second. I'm back. Sorry for this 1 minute of distraction, but I'm back. Let's go. What problem should we solve now? Shall we try some problem from this Amazon sheet? This minimum cost to cut a stick we have already solved, so let's color it with green. Okay, and I have a feeling that this is a very easy problem, and we have already solved the next one also. We have solved this snake and ladder problem, but I guess that was on Leetcode, it wasn't on Geeks for Geeks, although it doesn't really matter. Anyways, given a boolean 2D array of n cross m dimensions where each row is sorted, find the zero based index of the first row that has the maximum number of ones. So I have to find which row contains the maximum number of ones. Okay, the time complexity that I want to have is O of n plus m. That is very easy. I have solved it already. I'm pretty sure that I've solved it already. The method is very simple and obvious also. So let me try to explain the method here instead of solving the entire problem, because that would be just a waste of time for me because I've already solved it. Okay, so let me try to explain to you how to actually solve this problem. So in order to solve this problem, what we can do is we can, let's say, we can have a variable maybe let's call it c is the column. So now here's the thing, this is a n cross m dimensions matrix, and each row is sorted, which means the maximum number of ones would start from the end, right, because it's sorted. Now the next thing that I want to do is, for the first row, okay, yes, is that correct? Just give me a second. So what I meant to do is, I meant to find 1 in the first row. So this is how this is my first row, and the first one is here. Okay, so my column now is this, and now I will go to the next row and I will check if this column, I will check if there's a possibility of decreasing my column, and I will keep decreasing my column until this row has 1 in that particular column, and if it isn't possible, then just keep moving on. Okay, and that's how I can get the answer. And the maximum time complexity is going to be n plus m, because in every row at max we are going to go for m. Okay, you need to pay attention to the fact that we are not actually looping over the columns in every single row. We are just doing it for once. Okay, now this is a easy problem. I'm not going to solve, I have already solved it, so let's skip this one. The next problem, I feel that I've also solved this particular problem, but not on Geeks for Geeks. I have solved this problem on Leetcode. The problem is called snake and ladder problem. If you type this on Leetcode, this is going to be, this is the problem, snakes and ladder. And yes, the problem was really interesting. It's a medium level problem, but you can put it in the hard category. The way we solve it is actually, first we have to define, like, let's see what's the input in this case. In this case, we have the input in the form of you're given an integer n denoting the total number of snakes and ladder. That's fine. Yeah, so you have to make the board yourself. In this case, we were given the board, and snakes and ladders were represented inside of this with some numbers. The numbers were particularly there's a snake or a ladder if it is not equal to -1, but how do we figure out if it's actually a snake or a ladder? Because it represents the number that you have to move back to. So that was easy. So this is how it was given. Now what we had to do in this particular case is to sort of start from, let's say, 0, 0. Then we check all the possibilities. We check if we can move to 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step, 5 step, or 6 steps. So these were our steps, right? And at the same time, we also check if the current index is -1 or not, right? If it isn't -1, then we have to move to new IDX. But if it is -1, in that case you don't have to do anything. So which this line basically means if it is a snake, then you have to move to the tail, and if it's a ladder, then you have to move to the top, right? And then you check if we have already reached, then voila, we have solved the problem. It's a simple BFS. If we haven't reached and this has never been visited, then we add it to the queue and keep moving on. And in this way, simple BFS, we can do it. The main challenging part for this problem is specifically in the valid function, where we have to check if a given ID is valid or not. Now in order to check if a given ID is valid or not, what we need to do essentially is we need to find the row and column of that particular ID. So for the first time when we start with the 0 in the so if let's say we are at a position 16, then how do we figure it out? The answer is the length of the board is fixed. So we get the ID of row as IDX divided by n, and column by doing the percentage, right? And we now check one thing, if it's a even or a odd, because we have flipped 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So if it's even or odd, then we fix the same thing, and then that's how we solve this problem. So this is a very interesting problem, and for the first time when we actually tried solving this, we spent a lot of time on this problem, but now we have moved on. Similarly, search in rotated sorted array. This is also a very interesting problem. I've added it into the grind section of my my grind array, but essentially how you solve this problem, let's try to revise this problem once for once 4 5 6 7 0 1 2. So the way we actually solve this problem is so here's the reason that I'm not solving this problem is because I've already solved these problems previous. So this time I thought let's just try to explain the solution once instead of writing the code over and over again, because that becomes repetitive very quickly. So the way we solve this particular problem is we are going to use binary search. We are still going to use binary search, and we're going to assume that this array is divided into two sections. For example, 4 5 6 7 is one section and 0 1 2 is another section. If you try to plot 4 5 6 7, then it is going to look something like this, and if you plot 0 1 2, then this is going to look something like this, okay, while this is lower than this, okay. But anyways, the point is that we are still going to use binary search to solve the problem, and the way we are going to apply binary search is we find the mid and we check where is the mid. And to check where the mid is actually, see, we are only trying to figure out if mid is inside of this one or this one. If we can figure that out, then it's pretty easy for us. Now here's a little catch. The catch is that it's not easy to figure out if the mid value or if the given value is in this array or it is in that array. So for example, in this case you have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 elements. So your array's index will start from 0 to 6, and the mid value will be at third index, which is 0 1 2 3. So this is your mid currently 7. So now you can see from the observation that 7 lies in this array, but you have to write some logic, some piece of if and else statement that can help you figure out that 7 is lying inside which one. So there's a observation that we can do, very simple observation. The observation is, let's say if we get our mid as 5, then we can check if the mid so we have the low and the high right now, okay. Then what we can do is we can check if these number that I have is, so essentially that's what we have written, if the whatever number we have is greater than the low value. So this low value is currently 4. So if my current number is greater than the low value, then it is lying in this area. But if my current number is smaller than the low value, so if the number is actually 1, then it is smaller than the low value, so it will lie in the other half of the array. So if it is higher than the low value, the first check, Now if it is higher than the low value, then we know that it is in this part of the array. But how would you change the binary search variables? So to do that, what we'll do is, we have the number 5 for example, and we know that it is higher than the low value. Now the last thing that we need to figure out is if it is like the number that we want to search. For example, the number that we want to search is target, and let's say we want to search for 6. We check if 6 is also greater than this and 6 is less than the current. So that is not the case. 6 is greater than this, but 6 is greater than that also. So then what we can do is, we can simply say that you increase I by mid plus 1. Otherwise, if it happens that 6 lies there and my the current value that I have lies in this part of the array, in that case I should not be increasing my I should be decreasing my j, and that's how it's going to be reversed for the other half also. It is slightly tough to explain this, but when you try to write the code from yourself, it is pretty fairly straightforward problem. Okay, so this problem we haven't solved ever. So this is a problem that we will have to solve because we have never solved this problem. Okay, so the problem says that given n nuts of different size and n bolts of different size, there is one-to-one mapping between nuts and bolt. Match nuts and bolt efficiently. Comparison of a nut to another nut or bolt to another bolt is not allowed. It means nut can only be compared with the bolt and bolt can only be compared with the nut. To see which one is bigger or smaller, the element should have the following order. That is a very weird problem. So what we have to do is, we have to match nuts and bolts efficiently. What does it mean to match the nuts and bolts? So for one thing that we know is that, oh, got it. So it is essentially, you have to find the perfect bolt for a particular nut or perfect nut for a particular bolt. Isn't that an easy problem? I'm not going to solve this problem, or am I? The problem is nothing but sorting the array, and then as long as the array is same, you are going to print the array. That's all you're going to do. The problem is very simple. The point is, you have to modify the sort function, or you have to modify the like you have to find a way of modifying one of them, the sort function or that. What I would do is, I would modify the sort function, because I like to modify sort function in Python a lot. Custom sort in Python, I do it all the time. I love to modify the sort function. So we're just going to modify the sort function. There's just one thing that we need to do, which is I have to rank those nuts and bolts, which is given to me already. So let's call it rank. Rank is nothing but, this is 1. Okay, this is 2. This is dollar sign, right? Yeah, this is 3. Percentage is 4. Sorry. Ampersand is 5. Star is 6. At the rate sign, at the rate is 7. and this is 8. Finally tilde is 9. So what we are going to do is we are going to sort both of them using a custom sort function. The sort function that we're going to use is maybe it's easy to write this, which is key. Is it called key? Yeah, key equals to lambda x, and for everything we are going to take the rank of x. For bolts also we are going to do the same thing. Lambda x rank of x. Let's just return something like empty string for now. Let's print nuts bolts. Let's print them to see if our function, sorting function, is actually working correctly or not. Yes, it is working exactly the way it is supposed to. Now we're gonna have our answer as answer, and we're gonna loop for I in range n, and we're gonna say if nuts of I equal to bolts of I, then you add answer to nuts of I. Do we need to return anything or not? You don't need to read the input or print anything. Your task is to complete this, which takes an array and returns void. You need to change the array itself. I need to change the array itself. So then I will need to write this as nuts dot sort, and then I'll have to do something with it, which could only be done using custom sort in Python. We have to find a way of doing this custom sort. This one we have figured out how to do, but we want to do the original one. Or if I am very cheeky, then I would do this. Then I would say for I in range n, what I will do is I will say nuts of I is n of I, and bolts of I is b of I. That's a slightly cheeky way of doing the same thing. It says list object cannot be interpreted as an integer. Excuse me. For I in range n. Oh, let's say length of nuts. Right. Yeah, but that's like a slightly cheeky way of doing it. So we're done with this problem anyways. This is done. Let us also, egg dropping puzzle is actually a puzzle. It's not a DSA problem, it's a puzzle. But it is quite interesting. I've heard that this puzzle is really interesting and everyone likes to do that. We'll see if it's actually interesting or not, or if people are actually just crazy about these weird stuff. But that's for some another day. Right now, what do I want to do? So we are done with DSA for now. I do not want to solve another question right now. Let's create some stuff. Let's do something else. I want to stream for at least 2-3 hours. Like every single day when I start streaming, I have this feeling that I want to stream continuously for the next couple of hours, at least 3 hours. I mean at least 2 hours. But the worst or the bad part is that I do not have enough time during my day because of the classes. I have to do classwork, I have to attend classes, I have to work on that particular project, I have to do DSA offline, and then when I go to stream, like this is so recently when I first started, for example, I was struggling with the streaming a lot, struggling in the sense that I was not able to solve questions while being on the stream. I found it really hard to try to solve a DSA problem while actually explaining it to someone. And that was one of the reasons why I actually started streaming, other than the focus one. So earlier I wasn't streaming for fun. Earlier it used to be a stressful task for me, but now I spend my entire day doing a lot of stuff, reading a lot of stuff, working on a lot of projects and stuff. But at the end of the day, I feel streaming has sort of become that a way of letting my emotions out, and a way of making myself feel less anxious about stuff happening around me. So I have actually started enjoying streaming, and that's why I want to stream for longer time, but unfortunately I do not have enough time to stream. Well, that's something that I will fix hopefully one day. But for now, for as long as this is not fixed, let's just go ahead and try to create. A schedule for or some challenges that we want to do before the end of this week, some things that we want to do before the end of this week. So tomorrow is Thursday. On Thursdays I do not have a class until 10, so but I will definitely be waking up at 7 or 7:30, something like that. So how about I stream during daytime only? So that's one possibility, that I start streaming during daytime. But at the same time I feel that at around 7:30 and 8 I am not super productive, and that's the time that I want to turn myself into a productive person by live streaming. So we will be streaming at the night time only, but so what I can do is I can use these particular 2 hours, because I have to solve this blockchain assignment, right? Blockchain assignment, and it is a pretty cool and interesting assignment, and I feel that streaming it would be the right thing to do. If I don't stream it, then that would be just injustice to the assignment itself. So I have one blockchain assignment that I need to do. Let us also open up our classroom and see what are the pending assignments that we have to finish by the end of this week or in the upcoming weeks. Another assignment, so there's just blockchain assignment is one. I know that there is going to be a quiz for parameterized quiz. I also know that there's going to be a quiz for cognitive quiz. I also know that there is a cognitive assignment. By the way, this blockchain assignment is due on Sunday, and on Sunday it is, so that's due on Sunday. Wow, I can write all that stuff also. I didn't know about it. Okay, blockchain assignment is due on Sunday. Sunday is 18 is Sunday, so Sunday 18, let's call it 18 Sunday. Cognitive assignment is due on probably 20th, I'm not really sure, but yeah, 24th of September, which is, so we have a lot of time for that. We can chill about that. Then there is quiz for parameterize, which is on 20, and for cognitive also this is around 18 to 20, I'm not really sure. So that's all the things that we have to do. So how about tomorrow morning I wake up at 7:30 or 7:30, and then I start working on the blockchain assignment until I have microeconomics class. And how about I spend some time studying microeconomics and other stuff also. So recently I started this new thing, that is I bought a copy, and then now I've decided that I'm going to use that particular copy for writing down ideas, thoughts, or stuff that I have in mind while being in class or at any place, in generally at any place. So that's why I have this copy, and I wrote the first idea. The first idea is of a stream. Maybe once I've solved the blockchain assignment, like after Sunday, I will do one stream where I will, so it's gonna be a fun stream where I will do some text analysis on the speech, or on the I will do text analysis on my teachers who are teaching me during this semester. So I will have to figure out how to do that also. So that's some other thing, that's something else. But other than that, tomorrow I think it's very straightforward. We'll do blockchain assignment in the morning, offline, and then after the environmental class, I'll have lunch, and then I'll take some rest, and then in the noon I'll work on the startup. I'll have to keep working on it to make sure that I make some sort of progress every single day. And then in the evening, from 6 maybe we will do a stream, hopefully from 6 to 8, let's see, we're not sure, but we might do that. So that's pretty much all that I have in my mind, and that's all that I think I'll be doing in the next couple of days. This was a very fruitful stream today. I enjoyed streaming a lot today. Thank you for joining in, and that's all for today. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully 43rd stream tomorrow. See you.